Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 7 of the Visuals by Leo Studio podcast. We have a very special guest today, and I'm going to hand over the intro to my co-host, Sergio.
The special guest that we have today, he is a cinematographer, a photographer, fitness guru, a content creator. There's so much that I can say about this guy. I appreciate that he's here. My very good friend, Erick Ramirez.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. I wish I didn't have all those lists, but that's definitely something we're gonna get into. But
you're lucky it wasn't longer, bro. I should have made it longer.
I appreciate it, man. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. He makes the intro harder when he does so many things. You're like, I want to talk about his filmmaking, but no, I want to talk about his fitness, but I don't want to miss anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. The man of many talents. They say there's a quote that says you are what you eat, and then there's another quote that says you are who you spend the most time with.
Oh.
Habits are contagious. Spending time around people that will either uplift you or bring you down is like one of the most primitive, basic rules in life, whether you're 5 years old or you're 50 years old. And I feel like today already, this is the first time, Sergio, we're in the podcast studio recording at 7 a.m.
7 a.m. We're awake.
and that happened because this gentleman has a schedule. He has time management. He lives far away, but he also wants to achieve things in life. And I assume that he's so advanced in getting things done, even under pressure, that he's like, you know what? Can you guys make it at 7 a.m.? I'm happy to do this. I want to be out there. I want to take the next step in life, but I can do it at 7 a.m. Is that okay with you guys? We're like 7 a.m., 7 a.m. We'll do it. And here we are. And already, we're being influenced by you. I feel more energetic today. I was pumped waking up this early. I got an amazing parking spot. I got a healthy little breakfast, and I feel like that's just a segue into your coaching. You know, how you influence people, even though they're not watching you directly. Just the fact that they follow you on Instagram or listen to a YouTube video here, there, maybe even scroll through your story. These little things turn into you are who you spend the most time with. And I appreciate you for bringing us in here this early.
Yeah, likewise, man. He was telling me about parking spots. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's a ton of parking spots right
He's like, parking was never an issue. This guy's out at 6 a.m. every day. What parking problem? What traffic?
So I really appreciate it, definitely. And I agree, it's contagious. And this is why I know Sergio, because we have something in common. I think we all have something in common. Content. Talking about cameras, talking about video, talking about photos and all that stuff. But yeah, it definitely sets the tone. And I think, it took a while to get here. A lot of people think, that guy was born disciplined. It's like, dude, that's like the last thing, man. It's just like people aren't born whatever they are. They become those things, based on their daily habits, based on their daily choices. And exactly, the habits that you choose daily. Waking up early, it's just like, okay, cool. Like I get to, go down right now, came from Myrna Valley, drove out here. It's just
Crazy.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
Cruised a little bit, it could have been worse, but I was just like, yeah, like I want to make sure I get there, on time, and I don't want to have to be rushing. I don't have to be all this stuff. And then, once traffic starts, it gets a little chaotic, It's just like, I don't want to really deal with that. And then leaving again, right? It's like, I don't want to deal with traffic. So I'm in both windows. I'm like, okay, cool. Set the tone, get a little bit of coffee, whatever. You had extra time slots, and that's something that I do with my training. I go run. I'm like, all right, cool. If I'm at the gym, I don't have to worry about waiting for a machine or waiting for anything. It's just like, all right, I'm here. I got to get whatever I need to get done. I don't have to bump elbows or anything.
Yeah.
I'm in my zone. There's less people. There's less friction. There's less the whole... Sometimes I have somebody's looking at me or somebody's acting a little weird or somebody comes up to you, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, it's going to be a 30-minute conversation. Damn, I should have came like earlier,
Yes.
Not in a bad way, but You're right. Like, family, wife, girlfriend, whatever. We all got things to do, right? So
Absolutely. What's it's funny that you mentioned that, how you have a different experience in life because of your time cycle, because of the time you wake up and the time you go to bed. Someone living in New York that says there's a lot of traffic, there's someone out there who's out there at 4 a.m. is like, there's no traffic, or I don't have to wait in line for a machine. And I want to make a very quick analogy to something that I used to be a biology teacher, and I used to teach this thing in biology called temporal isolation. temporal meaning time. Time isolation, and scientists would study kind of little creeks and places in the Amazon and little like very small ecosystems, right? And they would notice that there's like 5 or 6 different types of lizard, but they started off from the same species or like the same family, right? And they've developed into very distinct, very isolated, different colors or different the ways they look or mating habits. And they wondered, like, they have the ability to cross mate, like this green one and the red one and the blue one. They can cross mate and they would make a magenta one or something.
Oh, wow.
But they never do. They stick to their own. They keep doing their own thing and they evolve independently and they become like 4 or 5 separate types of the same lizard. And they wanted to know why they don't mate. Even though if you put them in like a box together, they'll mate. They have the ability to, but they're not doing it. And then they discovered that it's because of the time they wake up and they go to bed. So the green lizards, for example, they're isolated temporally. They're isolated by time because they're waking up at 3 a.m. and they're in bed by 6. The red ones wake up at 6, so they only mate with the ones that are at the same time slot. And so in terms of biology and microevolution and adaptation, your entire progeny or your offspring or the future of your species depends on what time you wake up and what time you go to bed. And I feel like, you mentioning that sheds a little bit of light, but I'm sure there's so many more things that maybe are subconscious or we don't talk about that give you an advantage in life, that make you more evolved, make you adapt to your circumstances much better. Just because you're isolating yourself time-wise from a lot of the noise, from a lot of the traffic or the things that waste your time or all the bad things happen at night. If you're driving on the freeway after 12 o'clock on a Friday night, you're way more likely to get hit by a drunk driver or, that type of stuff. So I feel like you just by having that temporal isolation in your life, you avoid all that stuff that is just a drag on humanity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is your future girlfriend is probably at 6 a.m.
Hey, 6
running
a.m.
and you're sleeping,
I'm
Leo.
sleeping on it, bro.
Come on, Leo.
That's what it all is. So, as Sergio pointed out in a previous episode, this whole podcast is an attempt for me to find someone.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
All this is like the birds that are making a nest, and this is my nest that I'm still.
There you go, bro.
Ladies' phone number down here, up here, everywhere.
Right. We're on a mission right now.
We're on a mission, yeah.
Absolutely.
But that was great analogy, though. It's awesome, yeah.
Thank you,
School's
brother.
in session, man. It's early and we learned something already. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty about running in the morning too. Talking about video and content. It's just you wake up and you see the sunrise. Little details that aren't really big for people until you get into it. It's just I wasn't that type of guy neither. It's just like, cool. Hey, the sun's rising. Woohoo! But that endorphins when you go out and do something that was challenging for you before, something I'm sure you definitely expressed a little bit. And then you finish, and then that's kind of like, hey, here, we got something for you. We don't notice these details sometimes, like the clouds, the sun, the noises.
Yes.
I'll take off my headphones, I'll go run. I'm like, man, I feel so good. There's no noise. The beauty about waking up in the morning, there's not a lot of noise.
Yes.
Like noise starts kind of going.
Developing.
6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, you're done. It's like everybody's out. Everybody's trying to go to rush. You hear honks and everything, just depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but Lake Paris is, bro, it's just like a mountain. It's far away from noise. So I tend to go into those pockets. I was like, oh, bro, I was like, I don't even have to worry about noise. Like, no big deal. But I get to see the mountains with the sunrise and my photos, composition, lighting. I was just like, oh, damn, today was more red. Today was more orange. Today is this. Today is that. And you notice those things, the gradients, the different gradients of life. You're just like, dude, yesterday was this color. Now it's this color. How? I don't know, but I'm taking a picture right here, and it's cool.
Yeah, and it's not just entertaining, right? Like I think it serves a psychological purpose. It keeps you in rhythm when you follow the little nuance changes in the environment. That's good for your brain. Just waking, seeing sunlight, seeing a sunrise, seeing a sunset, hearing the birds chirp in the morning. All that puts your body into a rhythm with nature. You know what I mean? So I feel like it definitely serves that purpose in terms of making you more mentally healthy.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, this guy's been doing great. It's like, hey, what shoes should I get? Hey, get these shoes, man. I've been wearing these shoes for a while. They're good. They're great. Okay, done.
That's what I love about Sergio.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, hey, setting the
I just
tone.
hang around with people that are smarter than me, and then when I need something, I reach out and I trust them. That's all it is.
I love that.
He runs a lot, so I'm gonna go to a runner and
Take
ask
his
him about
advice.
what's the best shoes, right? And I'm glad you mentioned that. So I just want to say thank you for coming again. Like I reached out to you because, yes, we're friends, but you inspire me. You have so much knowledge in the world of videography and fitness, and when someone is in that journey like myself right now, like I watch all the stuff that you have to say, and it's always great advice that you give to people. It's you're not the one to say, oh, you want to lose weight, all right, you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and you're gonna work out for an hour and you're gonna eat this and you're gonna change your entire diet. You don't tell people that. You kind of ease them into a lifestyle change that is sustainable. And I just want you to maybe go a little bit over on like what is your goal when someone does come to you and ask you for help in that area. What are the first kind of steps that you go into with them?
Man, I appreciate, the things that, and it's sometimes hard to be on the other side of things. Like you could commit such, just exactly what you're saying. Like I'll ease people into things, because we were talking about it earlier. Less is more. It didn't make sense to me for a very, very, very long time. But I feel that we have too many options, which is great. Options are great. And I always like to tell people, like, well, what do you enjoy doing the most? Like, do you like to cycle? Do you like to run? Do you like to work out, lift weights? There's many things people can get into. Do you like to swim? Okay, now do the 10-minute rule. Do that, and it's something I started applying because I started going backwards. I was like, okay, well, how did I get here? It's so easy to say, oh, I do this mileage, I do that. It's normal to me. But then when I tell somebody has never done it before, you're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, all right. There came a point where this whole boasting ego can definitely be your enemy, or it could be your best friend, or somebody that you could work with. Because ego is great when you're in race. You're like, bro, just dig deeper, You could do more. But it's not great in the other side of things. So like, yeah, I do all this and everything. It's just like, no, there's definitely a limit, right? Especially for people that don't recognize that. It's just like, dude, I never even ran a mile in like 5 years, right? And those are areas that I've never been exposed to too often because I'm hanging around people that have already been doing it. It's just like, oh, bro, like last week I did blah, blah, blah. I was like, damn, all right, cool. Like this week, da, da, da. So when somebody comes in, like Sergio's, I was like, all right, well, what are the things that you enjoy that you don't have, that you're not struggling with, that you just do naturally? We all have those traits, to a certain point, to a certain extent. Like, oh, dude, like I just like to do push-ups, man. I'm at home. I'm about to go to bed. Like I got one of my buddies like, oh, dude, before I go to bed, I do some push-ups for like 10 minutes. And then I go to bed. I was like, oh, damn, okay, that's cool. Never thought about something like that. Doing, like, I would just want to ease into going to bed, read something, look at something. I was like, all right, cool, I go to bed. Like, I don't think about exercise, bro. I was like, that's already been done for. But looking at that first. And then applying the 10-minute rule. Because everybody's like, no, I got to go to the gym 30 minutes. No, I got to move for 30 minutes. I got to do an hour. It's just like, well, if you don't meet that demand, what's going to happen? Oh, I didn't have time because of this, because of that, my family, my wife, my kids, late for work, whatever. I went early for work and I'm tired. I don't want to do it. Then you're sabotaging your progress. You're sabotaging giving yourself the opportunity to do something. Starting 10 minutes, that's it. It's just the same with video too. It's like, how did I start doing video? How did I do? It's like, I showed up for like 10, 15 minutes. I showed up to things, no pressure. It's just like, oh, this is what I shot. Oh, okay. Same thing with running. It's like, okay, just start with, that's one of the biggest things I'm doing. Running doesn't start by running. Running starts by walking. Because I got hernia surgery. I'll get into it just a little bit. I got hernia surgery. I was into bodybuilding, so I got injured. And then I got surgery, and I was out for a whole year. So mentally, that was like my biggest battle of my life. I'm like, bro, like I only know the gym. Like I was a huge bodybuilding fan. I was doing fitness related content. So I was filming the Jay Cutler, CT Fletcher for 5 years. I was filming one of my good friends, Chris Gethin. I mean, like the big guys at the time, And then fast forward, I got injured. I was deadlifting, I was squatting. I didn't know what exactly it was. But then I had to get surgery. So I was out of commission for a whole year. A lot of people are like, you could have been already, back in full circle, like 4 or 5 months in. But I didn't feel like I was able to move. I couldn't even like sit like this because the pressure in it was an abdominal hernia, abdominal surgery. So a pressure just sitting like this, it would just be excruciating.
Wow.
So I always had to feel like I needed to lay down. I couldn't drive for 3 months. That's how bad it was. And when I started to drive, I felt like I was like, cholo all the way back, driving. So it's just because it was just so painful. So that process, I got it done in Tijuana. And then my doctor said, look, if you want this to fully heal, you got to give it some time. And, it could be in 8 months, right? And then that's where everything kind of started to sink in. It's just like, man, like, why am I rushing? Like, why do I want to like work out? All of a sudden I have this itch to like, I need to lift weights. Like that was my biggest thing before. It's just like, I got to go to the gym to feel satisfied. I got to like do machines. I got to go hop on machines, or I got to do weight to feel satisfied. And that was becoming a problem because I couldn't go work out and do anything for a whole year. And that was a decision that I wanted to take, because the doctor said if you're gonna rush into things, you're probably gonna have surgery again. Probably, what we did could reopen, and we're gonna have to stitch it back up. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to go through this pain again, And then it was cool to go through that type of pain, emotional, mental pain. It's just like, dude, like I have not touched the weight. I gained a little bit of weight. I was still eating healthy in my terms at that time. And then a year later, I say probably in the 10th, 11th mark, I started to walk. Like I wasn't doing a single thing at all. I was just in bed. I was just like, man, this sucks. Like I feel so much pain and meds, whatever. And I'm like, I gotta do something, but I can't lift weights. So what's the only option? I started to look into running. I'm like, oh man, like I hate running. I would be the last guy. It'd be like, at the time, if you were to tell me like, hey, go run, like, bro, bodybuilding, we don't do that. It's like, nah, don't even tell me about it. Like we do Stairmaster, and that's probably the most we ever do. I was that type of guy. I was like such a meathead. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't step over there. So it's like, nah, you come over here, squat 405, bench press 405, do this. Like you come over here. I was like, nah, I don't step over there. It's boring. It's just like, it's boring. I don't know why people like it. It's dumb, whatever, right? I was that guy. But I'm glad that happened. And it's so counterintuitive to say, I'm very grateful for that, surgery, for that injury that changed literally my life. Like, I'm the last guy to be in the weights now. It's like, nah, bro, I'll go run. I'll go cycle. I'll go swim. I'll go do things that make me feel that I'm moving, that actually make me feel like I'm gaining health. Because bodybuilding, we could go very deep on this for another time, but it's not as healthy as people think it is. It is healthy in a sense of it's discipline. It taught me discipline. The only thing I could take away from bodybuilding is discipline. Like, I wanted to be like the Jay Cutler, like Chicken and Rice, all these people that you see on the magazines. Like, oh, how did they get there? Well, they got to show up every day. Oh, damn. All right. You got to show up every day to get like that? I guess. All right. And then that's kind of how you start, So I started kind of structuring, starting from zero again. Like, how did I start running? Where did it begin? And I finally found like my answers. So it's like, oh, I started by walking. I was in deep pain, but I was walking as much as I could for on average 10 minutes, 15. And then pain will start to sink in. I'm like, oh, I gotta go home. Like I can't keep my posture, straight. And then as time went by, I was like, oh, I was walking 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna mix in jogging now, because that's the next step. So I started to mix in jogging. I'm like, all right, cool. I feel better. I could walk normal. Now I'm gonna mix in jogging. So I really started to think about it. It's like, okay, where does this all come from? I played baseball since I was 8. So that's where it all kind of begins. So I played baseball since I was 8 and all the way to high school. So all those things really do play a big role growing up, which I got to give it up to my dad. Like, hey, you got to go to play baseball.
Right.
When you're a kid, you don't really analyze things like that. You're just like, yeah, we're gonna go play baseball. Cool, no problem. This is what I gotta do. That's it. You know, no mechanics, no swinging a bat a certain angle, no this, no that. Just like
Show up.
just show up. Exactly. So I was just like, I just showed up to my runs, and I just walked, and then I jogged, and then I started to run. I started to mix in jogging with running. So there's, for me, 3 steps: walking, jogging, running, and you got to mix them in. You know, it's just like you sometimes, like for a long time, I couldn't run a mile. Like that's the standard, right? In high school, for me, it's like, oh, that 1 mile, it's like I want to run it this fast, and that was always me too. It's just like, oh, I want to run a fast mile, but I didn't get there probably until I finally recovered, and a year later, once I was like fully recovered, I walked, I jogged, I ran. So 8 months later after that, I started to really run like my mile and a half too. It's a long process, but running will really humble you in like the nicest way possible, probably in the most brutal way too. Just like, this is not as fast as you think, boy. Like, this is not bodybuilding. This is not you take this supplement, you take that supplement, you eat this, you eat that, and you go pump iron, and you could definitely see results much quicker. This is not it, boy. Like, you're completely in another beast, in another monster. You're not gonna see progress as fast as you want it to. It's just like swimming. Like, swimming is way less forgiving. You know, you're probably consistent for 3, 4, 5 months, and then within like a week or two, your conditioning is like gone. Like, running could be up to 3 weeks. If you're kind of, you know, a little active, you jog a little bit here and there. If you're traveling, whatever, like up to a month. If you're just like casually, a little bit more forgiving, but it's gonna teach you like, okay, if you want to get your endurance back, you want to run as fast again, good luck with that. Like, I'm really happy that transition happened for me, that running really humbled me. Like, the whole ego, like surgery, I feel like it killed my ego, because I was full of ego. I was like, yeah, I bench press this, I do this, I go to the gym every day, I show up, I eat chicken and rice, whatever. I was like, it doesn't matter, dude. Like, it doesn't. Like, you know, somebody like Sergio is just like, I want to give a lending hand without my ego being like, yeah, I'm better than you, you know? And that for me was terrible. Like, that's what surgery taught me. I was like, dude, you gotta, if you really want to generally help people, you gotta change your attitude, and you gotta look at things very differently. And that's when running stepped in and really changed me completely. It was just like, you know what? Like, hey, start with this, man. Like, find things you enjoy. Start with this first couple steps and just show up. It's gonna be hard, but 10 minutes is like, we're spending more time on social media. We're doing Netflix marathons. I'm like, 10 minutes is seriously nothing. So that's my rule with anything that anybody wants to start. But it's just that one thing. And I've completely stripped everything away, because before it was CrossFit, bodybuilding, whatever. It's just like, I'm doing this now. I'm doing that. Olympic weightlifting, whatever. And it's just, you overwhelm yourself. I'm like, bro. And that's what happened to me recently. It's just like, okay, just stick to one thing, bro. Just run. You wake up just thinking about that one thing. So imagine it's like, oh, I got to go swim. I got to go run. I got to go to the gym. You're already way too stressed. So I was like, you know what? That's all I'm going to do, run. And then teach people with, you know, my experience, what I've learned with running, to help them as well, you know, just like this guy right here.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, doing that 10-minute one, like, I feel like once you start as a person that is like, let's say running, and I start running every day for those 10 minutes, eventually I would feel like I've conquered that 10 minutes, and then come back to you and be like, all right, Eric, what's next?
Yep.
What do I do? Because I feel great. Those 10 minutes, I do them. It's easy. It's a part of my lifestyle now. What do we do from here? And I also appreciate you talking about your struggles, because that's a story that I didn't know. And I love getting some type of advice from people that have gone through it in life, because it has taught them something completely different. It has changed their way of being. And now you have that sympathy to give to people that are struggling and going through like a mental block. I'm like, dude, I got to go to the gym. I got to lift weights, and then I got to run for like 2 miles and blah, blah. And it's so overwhelming. And I appreciate that you went through something that's so rough, and I'm sorry you went through that. But then again, it's kind of a good thing, right? That you went through it. And now you're able to just tell somebody, hey, dude, just do 10 minutes. And trust me, once you conquer those 10 minutes, you're going to want to do 15. You're going to want to do 20. And next thing you know, you're going to want to do something else. You're going to want to pick up a weight because now you're feeling this fulfillment, right? And one more thing I'll say, a lot of people that I see that make the mistake is like, for example, if you have an Apple Watch, you have like, all right, I have a goal that I'm going to reach 500 calories with 10 hours of standing and a 40-minute to like workout. And a lot of my friends that don't do fitness have like 1,000-calorie goal. They have a hour fitness goal, and they're not even doing those things, and they never reach it. Whereas me, that I started my fitness journey, my calorie was like, all right, I'm gonna lower it to 400. I'm gonna do at least 20 minutes of working out, and I was hitting those numbers every day. Mm-hmm. Yes, they were small, but mentally, I was accomplishing something, and I would get notifications. Good job, you reached the 400. Good job, you did your 20-minute workout. Good, and that was for a good couple weeks. Whereas my friends weren't never reaching or getting those notifications because they were never reaching those numbers. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I went and I kept pushing it up because I was like, oh, I've been consistent. I've been doing, instead of 400, I'm reaching 600 averaging every day now. Maybe I should move it up. And then that gave me the confidence of like, oh, I'm going to be able to reach those 600 now. Like without any worry about like, oh, no, I didn't get, oh man, I feel like I wasted a day. And now it's consistent. Whereas my friends still don't reach their 1,000 calories and they feel bummed out. They don't get that mental like, oh my God, this is awesome. I'm getting notifications from like positive motivations from the watch telling me I did a good job. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, I'm rambling. But those 10 minutes.
This is perfect.
Those 10 minutes is like, I think is key to just start. Because eventually those 10 will go to 20 to 30. And next thing you know, you're just like, all right, Eric, like you could let me fly from the nest now. I'm going to go do my thing, and I think that's a great feeling to get to.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few months that we haven't reconnected, and seeing that you've made this amount of progress, I got to congratulate you, first of all. Second of all, it feels good because not a lot of people will get to know that feeling, because there's a lot of feelings that in pockets that people will never get to experience in their life. Like, what is it to run? What is it to run faster? What is it to sprint? That is literally one of the last things. You're running, but then there's one last one, sprinting. Okay. Not a lot of people our age, in our 30s, especially the 40s, don't ever get to sprint their life again. And that sucks. I was like, bro, we're so much capable that what we know, sometimes that, oh, like I could probably do this at this time. Oh, bro, I did like double, triple that, I think one of the biggest things, to going back to your point, is comparison is the biggest thief of joy. We compare ourselves to people that are already doing a lot of great things, which is great. Hey, great. Hey, I applaud you. You're doing like your fitness that you've been built. I got to congratulate you because nobody's done it for you. You're doing it. And I know what that feels like. Nobody's knocking on your door. Nobody's calling me. Nobody's sending me a message like, hey, bro, did you run? Hey, bro, did you wake up? Hey, did you do this? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. It's a choice. It's just like having a girlfriend and loving her. It's a choice to love her every day. It's a choice to show up for yourself every day. It's a choice. You don't have to do it. But for me, movement has been something that's been part of my life since I was a kid. Since I played baseball since I was 8. So as I grew up, it's like, oh, I love movement. I love being out. I love running. I love swinging a bat. And then it transformed into other things like, oh, you know what? I'm finding joy in this. And I think one of the other things is that we don't give ourselves the opportunity to feel these things. Like, it sucks. People say it's boring, but once you finally find those pockets and you're like, I'm fine. I'm learning about myself in these runs. I'm out by myself, sometimes listening to music or just by myself. And there's all these clutters. Like, I've never gotten into journaling, but people say, like, bro, I journal and I clear everything I got here. Journaling, when people tell me how that feels like, that's my meditation when I'm running. I'm running, I'm like, oh, what I got to do today? Oh, I got this idea for this video. It's like, okay, hold on. Let's not get ahead. I was just like, all right, cool. I was like, oh, then I could shoot it like this. I could shoot it like that. Oh, this is going to be the script, or this is how I'm going to shoot it, whatever, right? It's definitely, cool to get to this point, but you'll definitely reach a level where 10 minutes is going to be the standard. And it's far beyond the numbers. And I probably took this watch off for probably like 8 months. I hate that I bought this watch, but it's cool because I get to track things. You know, it's like it's finally like mixing in with with my skin color because I took it off for a while. And I would have to say that all this stuff helps, but
Can you see it?
yeah, in most cases, it's gonna destroy your progress. Is less is more, man.
Yeah.
And I took it off, and I wasn't caught up in my VO2 max, how much steps, how much this, how much that. It tells you everything. Like I got all my data here. It's just like, oh, we're here. I burned X amount of calories, blah 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 blah. It's just like, okay, that's beautiful. All you got to worry about is just moving, and people get caught up in the numbers.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with running. I'm like, oh, I want to run as fast as this, or like faster than my friend, whatever, right? I compare it. There we go. We're comparing ourselves. Oh, there we go. We got to meet expectations.
Right.
Expectations are way too high, and you're just starting. So you're just literally shooting yourself before you even start. It's the same thing with photography or video. I'm like, how do I get good at this? I looked all my photos and all videos. We could probably all relate together. They sucked the first time, like the first year or two. Just like, bro, I took like these 10, 20 pictures when I started, and they look like crap. That's everybody, dude. That's I think about the things that I shot before that I thought they were cool. I look at them now. Oh, bro, what the hell was I thinking?
Cringe.
But, yeah, exactly, right? It's cringe. But you look back and you say, but I showed up.
Yeah. I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad I did it. No expectations. Like, bro, if you just put a newbie into a wedding, hey, go shoot a wedding. Bro, you're going from like 10, 20 pictures to thousands of pictures. And they're not even going to be good. They're going to be like, bro, where do I go? Where do I start? Like, what's happening? What's next? You know?
Yeah.
Like people that know the flow, like, hey, we got a itinerary. This is what's going to happen. We're going to be at the hotel. This is blah, blah, blah. Planning, right? It's almost kind of the same thing, with running. It's like, oh, I'm going to run at this time over here. Okay, cool. I'm only going to spend 10, 20, 25 minutes. No expectations. Like zero expectations. Like whatever I could do. Because I got to think about when I was a kid. There was no expectations. It's like, oh, I got to go play baseball. It's going to be like an hour and a half. I'm going to play against these other, little kids, that I'm going to hit homers and I'm going to steal bases and I'm going to rock them, That was it.
Yeah.
And I'm not caught up in, oh, I didn't meet my 1,000-calorie demand. My, beats per minute. Oh, my steps. Oh, my mileage. Like I had everything here, but I'm already setting up myself to failure. And that's why I said it. It's like, I wish I didn't get a watch. I have it now. Like, I'll wear it just to track little things. Like, oh, just my time. It's like, I worried about too much about, like, certain things that really destroyed my progress, Running faster. Oh, how much did I sleep? Oh, did I get enough deep sleep? Blah, blah, blah. When you get too technical about things, you handicap yourself. Same thing with cameras. Like, oh, this camera, that camera, oh, this quality, 8K, 4K, blah, blah. It's just like, bro, just shoot something, tell a story, and we're all happy.
Yeah.
So I think just having less expectations, showing up, like, no X amount of calories, this and that, and just, you'll get better 10, 20, 30 minutes and just build from there. And then once you're really ready, you feel like, bro, I could do an hour with my eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's start putting some structure. Like you feel like you're ready for a 5K, that hour of daily show up, and we don't get more time. You create more time. You're creating an hour from 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the part of results, showing up every day that eventually you're gonna enjoy it so much. It's just like, bro, I'm cruising for an hour, man. Hell yeah, I'm ready. Like your body will tell you. It's just like, bro, I think we're fucking ready for a challenge. Like we're definitely ready to show up for a challenge, a 5K. Not half marathon, not marathon. Like I said, there's just levels to this. Like just start small, just start. No expectations for a 5K neither. I mean, that's where I failed a lot, showing up to races.
I think a lot of people think they hate running. I used to think that I hated running. When I played football in high school, I would always tell my coach, I'm like, man, look, if you're going to punish me, just make me do sprints. I could do sprints for you all day. But you tell me to run a lap, I want to quit. There's something about like a long distance thing that in my head I just didn't like. But I'll do like quick sprints and I'm good. Then, what the point I'm trying to say is like people think they hate running, but I think is we're just out of shape in the beginning, so we make it seem like, dude, it is so difficult. At some point, like you said, if you are consistent working out or doing something, movement for your body will tell you, hey, I think we're ready for a little jog. Just try a little jog. And then next thing you know, you're jogging, you're like, whoa, I feel good. I'm not winded. I'm not getting that side pain, you know what I mean? As I'm jogging, like I feel great. And recently, I've been going through a journey of like getting back to fitness and seeing how my body's reacting. And I recently started jogging again, and I felt great. And I was so amazed and shocked that I was feeling good. And then I told my fiance, I was like, you know what it is? The next day, it's like having a superpower, like going to sleep with a superpower and waking up and thinking, do I still have this superpower? And that's how I was thinking about running. I felt great. And the next day I wanted to go run again just to see if I still like, was that a fluke? Am I really like in shape to like run like I did yesterday? And I tried it again. And next thing you know, the body's reacting well. The feet, your legs, everything's working good. And I did another workout that was similar than the last day. I'm like, oh my God, we got it. Now we just got to be consistent and get better. You're excited and you just want to keep progressing. So yeah, I mean, I think I did have a shameful plug, Leo, because Erick was saying less is more. And sometimes you just want to show up and just, do what you already have been doing. Like just don't overthink it. Just show up. And I was going to say, it's kind of like your podcast room, Leo. You set everything up for people to just show up and do their content. And that's all it is, right? Like you don't have to worry about mics, audio, staging, the background, the seats, and anything like that. You just set it all up for everybody. Just show up, do your content, and do your thing. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, that's what I was thinking about when you said that. Less is more.
Thank you
just
so
show
much.
up
And I did not pay him to say that. I swear to God.
No, it is such a clean layout, dude. It's so dope.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah. I love that you mentioned minimalism. So, sorry about that. You're really good at something, right? You're really good. You're very advanced in running, and you have. It's not just that you started running. There's a storyline. There's a build up. There's a journey that you went through to become a runner, and now you here in my eyes an expert in running. You're talking about minimalism, and I always ask myself like, why is it always the last thought that we have that less is more? Why are we always shocked to discover that less was more all along? And I feel like your talk right now shed light on the answer to that, which would be, unfortunately, because the people that are best at every different thing in life, the best doctor, the best engineer, the best runner, the best people out there, they're making money on being the best at that thing. And unfortunately, because of social media and YouTube and the nature of content and the fact that something like Facebook is designed to be a marketing platform, we have learned from our experts, from our mentors that we look up to and that are the best at things, that we have to buy this because that's the only way they would have that platform. If they weren't telling you, you got to buy this, it's 50% off that watch, or you need these shoes, these are the best shoes ever. If they're not consistently, of course they teach you, it's not like they're not offering value, but if they're not consistently offering a parallel amount of plugs of the things that you need to buy, the consumerism that you have to partake in, then they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't have a voice. They wouldn't be able to afford to pay the bills and still do what they do. So unfortunately, the people we're learning from, they're not able to tell us that less is more. And I love that you talked about that today. Like it's natural for someone who's an amateur at something to be very attracted to the sexy things. Like right now, I was like, I want to see that watch, bro. That looks like a dope watch. I want to get the nice shoes. I want to get the dopest Nike or whatever company it is.
The watch will make you run faster.
It make me run faster.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that stuff. Like if I become a runner, you're gonna see first day I'm decked out and all this stuff, and I can barely run 5 minutes. That's just how I am, right? I like the glittery things. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that you. I love that you mentioned that minimalism. Like you're talking about. It's all about yourself. Less is more, even to the point where like less exercise, like focus on one thing. And I feel like that's missing in our day and age. And it's because of social media, because everybody's plugging things. Everyone wants to sell something. But going back to my nature, being someone who's attracted to the fun things, what's like let's say I do become a runner, right? And I get really good at it. I'm thinking right now, like I want to go on that weekend run, like a sexy trail. I don't know where. What would that trail be? I know we live in California, the most beautiful place on the planet. What's like give me one, two, or three really sexy trails that I can run at when I get really good at this and have my new shoes on and my Garmin watch.
Well, I think ones that I'm gonna recommend a little bit out of reach for people that are around the area, but I mean, I think the only one I could probably say that's really enjoyable, I think no matter what time of the day it is, it's Lake Paris.
Lake Paris.
Yeah,
Really?
Lake Paris. So there's like this little parking spot where you could take a trail. And, you know, you could trail up, trail run, trail walk. But then you could take, like, there's a main entrance to Lake Paris. You park your car where you're about to take the trail, but you actually go through the main entrance through the road. And you could actually take the whole road. You could buy, like, there's a lake there. I think the whole thing, if I'm not mistaken, is like 10 miles, like the whole loop. You could bike it. You could, people camp there and stuff. But I think it's awesome, especially if you're into content. You're gonna get a lot of content there. If you want to create some cool, there's so many backgrounds, that you could film yourself, take pictures, whatever. I took a little photo challenge for myself. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna find little different backgrounds. Little mountains, little pockets, little curves, and everything. I started taking pictures and. Yeah, there's all types of backgrounds there. So it's a little bit of a drive, but I think it's cool because it disconnects you from what's available, I think, here locally, like Pasadena, LA, whatever. It's just like, it's not really hidden, but it's just away from traffic. It's just, you're going to go do that one thing. I think everything else, for me, it's just about the noise, just focusing on that thing. There's not a lot of people. There's going to be people there, but there's not going to be like a ton of people running or a lot of these other touristy areas, you could say, that I've gone to too as well. I think they just have too much traffic. I think you find a little bit more enjoyment at Lake Paris or another one. Number 2 would be the M Mountain. Well, actually, I will name you 3. Okay, so Lake Paris will be like top 1. You got to go.
How far is it from here? Ballpark? Like, are we talking hours?
Like in an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Okay.
Actually, an hour without traffic, but that's nearly impossible.
Yeah, no.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, so an hour and a half inland. Are we going up towards like San Francisco? Or are we going down towards San Diego? Or are we going in towards Arizona?
Down towards San Diego.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
it's south. Okay, amazing.
So they're not too far away apart from each other, but if it's something closer, it's the M Mountain. That's a trail run or walk. Beautiful. I would say difficulties medium if you're just starting. Probably even hard because they're pretty steep. If you're just walking it, cool, but you're really climbing up that mountain. If you have a dirt bike, whatever, you could definitely do that there too. But I think one of the ones that has the most traction, more people, it's a little bit more known locally from here too, is Mount Rubidoux in Riverside, which is a lot closer than the other ones that I just mentioned. That one is paved, so people walk or can run up the little mountain, Mount Rubidoux, and it's super cool. Like you get up and you kind of see Riverside, and it's a beautiful view. I think that's the easy one. And then you could go up and then do the M Mountain when you're ready. But I think that's closest, a little bit more enjoyable. If you like the traffic, you don't mind the traffic, there's going to be people there, struggling just like you, starting from zero, or they already have experience because you got, I did a lot of boxing content for Showtime, and I got to do a lot of content for Robert Garcia. So Robert Garcia has a gym in Moreno Valley. I used to be in Riverside, but in Moreno Valley, you probably bump into a few boxers if you're into the boxing scene. Doing their thing, shadow boxing, running up and down and stuff. So you could probably do that thing 3-4 times. Well, depending on your fitness level. But if you're just starting, you just want to kind of walk, it's definitely enjoyable.
So to be clear, there's no in and out at the end of any of those trails.
Oh man.
Damn. Oh man.
Oh man,
That's my favorite kind.
No, unfortunately, no. There's fruta. There's a fruta guy down there. At Mount Rubido. He does not miss a beat.
That's great.
So
it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned In-N-Out. We have this group chat in the family, and we're always doing unhealthy things. Like we're not. I mean, not but like normal unhealthy things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna run away from that. Unhealthy things. So one day, one of my cousins like, let's go hiking, and everyone was like, where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Everyone's suggesting something, and then I think I said Black Star Canyon, which is like right down Chapman.
Yeah.
So we go all the way we finally get everyone together, and we decide to do something healthy. We're going out, and we go to Black Star Canyon, and 15 minutes in, everyone's like, dude, this never ends. And two of my cousins got a little like quarrel, and everyone's like cranky and hangry, and I'm like, you know what, guys, I don't think we're not made for this. Everyone's like, yeah, I don't even know why I came. I never wanted to come out here. I told you guys I don't like this stuff, and it got so dramatic.
Wow.
And we're driving back Chapman, and everyone sees In-N-Out, and everyone just smiles, and we pull up into In-N-Out, and we just spend like 2 hours in In-N-Out, just like burger after burger, fun after fun. Everyone's like, yo, this was a great day. We had so much fun. so every time I say, guys, let's go on a hike, everyone's like, yeah, let's get some In-N-Out. Let's get some In-N-Out. Because there's no hike. We're just going to In-N-Out. It's just an excuse to go to In-N-Out. So,
there you go.
So 100%, bro. I'm going to put you in the group chat. we're on the same wavelength.
So speaking of In-N-Out, right? Food, nutrition. All right, Eric, that's something that we were just talking about when we were getting some coffee.
Yeah.
We were talking about how working out and then going to go eat like animals is basically a waste of time working out, you know? So yeah, give me some of your practices when it comes to nutrition again. So I came to you as someone that never works out, and you're giving me the 10-minute strategy.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about nutrition. Like, what's something that how do you ease someone into having good nutrition?
Man, not to go too deep in the rabbit hole, but that's definitely a big topic. And look, that is something we all need to do every day. If you want to live, we're all here. We've all ate. You know, we've come to this point because, you know, we gotta eat, and that's our fuel, right? And that's something that when I started really getting serious about my runs, I'm like, well, how can you run faster? How can you gain more muscle? How you gain more strength? Well, the fuel, there's different quality of fuel. Just like Formula One, like they're not in the regular gas station. Like they're specialized fuel for those cars. So I have to think of myself like I'm an F1 car. I cannot afford to, you know, consume, you know, low quality foods because there's low quality foods. But I think one of the easiest ways to ease in if you're wanting to get healthy, if you want to start working out and stuff, is don't sign up to a gym, don't go run, don't go do all these things. Master your kitchen first, because if you don't master your kitchen, if you don't master what you got, and you live literally right next to it, we all have a kitchen, we all cook food, we all have what it takes to make whatever food we want. You have to master that first, because if you don't master your fuel, if you don't master the quality of food that you're ingesting, that's going to reflect. Like, people think, I'm going to sign up to a gym, I'm going to go get a personal trainer. Dude, that's just 30 minutes to an hour of your day. Like, you're spending literally 70, 80% of the rest of your day eating, you know? So you're thinking in that 5-10% miracles are going to happen, when the 80% of your habits of what you're ingesting, what you're drinking, what you're eating, that's a lot of people are very lopsided. You know, we think miracles are going to happen in our runs, 30 minutes, an hour. No, don't even get there. Like, that's like the last thing you need to do. No, don't do that. Go out, and I'm gonna give you a very simple example. And I thought about this morning because I knew I was going to jump into this. So if you're used to drinking soda and you drink 3 cans of soda per day, well, the way I did it eating healthier. I never drank soda, but I'm just putting that as an example. Well, in order for you to start making healthier choices, well, let's just say you drank 3 of them throughout the week. Next week, you're going to have to drop it down to 2. Simple, just 2. You're still getting your fix. You're still getting soda, but you're just going to do 2 now. And then that could probably take like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. And I'll actually give you a very big insight that you'll be like, whoa, okay. Okay, now you've kind of mastered that. You're like, okay, cool. Like, I don't even need 3 anymore. So it's like, I've stuck to 2. Well, now you got to drop it to 1. Same thing. Same thing with the running, right? It's just like, hey, 10 minutes and then level up. That's kind of the same way. It's just like, okay, now just 1 soda per day. Okay. And that's going to be harder. But if you really, once you find out your why, like, why am I doing this? Like, for who? For what? Like, why? Like, I want to feel better. I want to be healthier. Just as an example. Okay, great. This is making me feel like crap. Drinking soda just doesn't make me feel good. Like, I feel good in the moment, but afterwards, it's not making me feel good. It's making me feel regretful. It's like, why am I doing this, bro? It's like, I'm drinking 40 grams of sugar. I love it. It tastes good. But 2-3 hours later, I hate myself. Okay. Well, now the real challenge begins. 1 to 0. That's pretty much how the whole process works. It probably took me, man, like 2-3 years to get there. Like, eating unhealthy, like my unhealthy is like tortillas, like, eggs with ham and like tortas, pozole, the traditional Mexican stuff, right?
Yeah.
I was never a huge fan of that. But as soon as I got into bodybuilding and I read more and I said, damn, these people are really doing this a full day. And that was like one of the biggest conversations. Like, yeah, you need to master your nutrition before you even step into the gym. Because if you don't have the nutrients in your body for your body to produce the miles, the reps, the sets, the weight, good luck, bro. If you have 0 food, 0 hydration, go in the gym and let me know how you feel. Your body's going to tell you, like, bro, I have a headache. Oh, why? Because you're not hydrated or you didn't eat enough or you're hungry. You're just like, I'm hungry. I don't want to do anything, right? So it's definitely progressional. And it's looking into things that you're into as well. I noticed that when I started climbing my mileage, when I was fasting and I was kind of eating, reasonably good and from my eyes, I wasn't performing as well because I needed to switch my 80% protein, 20% carbohydrates to 80% carbohydrates and 20% protein. Carbohydrates is literally the fuel to your runs. If you get to a point where it's like, okay, you're doing 6, 7, 8 miles. All right, we're switching gears now. Your body's switching gears. Like, yeah, you're burning fat, just depending. Running is all the science, like different zones, whatever. But if you're running slow, you're burning fat. Cool. But if you're running faster, carbohydrates.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll switch. Like, okay, cool. Like zone 2, you'll probably look it up if you're interested. But a lot of people that talk about zone 2, the very just steady state cardio. Just you and I are jogging and we're talking. That's like the zone 2. Just like we're having a good conversation.
Leo, what zone 2 is. I started doing zone 2 cycling. I couldn't believe how slow it was, but I get it. But I would do an hour and I'm drenched.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
And zone 2 is maximum fat burn? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's where your body is just taking all that fat and using it as fuel. And then, yeah, it's just what you're going back to, like picking what you're into. If you're into fasting, great. But you're going to reach a point, like if you get into, more cycling, more running, you're going to have to make some changes there. Like, I don't really fast anymore because I have to make sure, like, okay, today is my fast run. I make sure I get a good breakfast, get all my meals in, get all my carbs so I could have a good, successful, beyond the run, recovery, and all that good stuff, right? So there's pescatarian, there's like, the carnivore, there's, all these things. They're all great. But
sorry guys.
That's all right.
We're located in Old Town Orange, right next to the fire department. So yeah, you will hear, whether it be an ambulance for UCI hospital, or a fire truck for the fire department, you will hear these things. And no, I'm not going to remove it.
There you go. All right. But yeah, it's just finding what you're into. Just finding something that you can actually do consistently. I mean, the name of the game is consistency. And if you find pescatarian fits your lifestyle, okay, great, do that. If being a carnivore seems like that's actually what I really want to do, I'm a meat lover, whatever, okay, do that. Everything works if you put the time, if you invest, if you nurture it, just like anything, right? It's just like you could be an Icon guy and you could be a Canon guy, but you guys are still producing the same thing.
We won't be friends, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
So
luckily, we're both Sony, right?
Luckily, we are both Sony.
Oh, there you go.
I knew it from day one.
No Canon, no Nikon. Sony.
Word of advice when doing Zone 2. Don't do Zone 2 while watching or listening, or for me, I was cycling, watching Dragon Ball Z, because Zone 2 won't exist, man. I got too pumped up. I was too pumped up. I was hitting Zone 5, and I'm like, it's too much. Goku, relax.
Yeah, if I get to Zone 2, I'll be happy, brother, to be honest with you.
Zone 2 is good.
I wanted to ask you, brother, I'm motivated by positive things. Like like some people, especially on social media, I feel like some of the biggest gurus are the ones like, you're just a little girl. You got to get up there and you got to face life and you got to grab the opportunity. I'm not motivated by that. Like, that doesn't work for me. That turns me off.
Okay, good.
A lot of men like that type of rough type of, like, yeah, what do you want to be, a girl about this? You don't have it in you? That's not me, right? I'm motivated by like positive things, right?
Damn.
So,
well, I don't know how you guys are friends. This guy is all that.
are you really? You have well, thank God he doesn't do anything to me. He's just keeping me in my little zone, my zone 2. But yeah. So my business mentor, I like to hear from him. I like to hear positive things. Like, bro, once you get your finances right and you start to focus and you organize debt, you buy whatever you want. You go on vacations when you want to.
The sexy things.
The sexy things. I want to hear from you. What are the sexy things about after you've gone through all this? Like, let's talk about you now versus you 10 years ago. What are the sexy things about this lifestyle?
Clarity. That's definitely the biggest thing. Less is more. I'm not attached to material stuff. I could care less about driving the newest car or whatever, having properties or anything. For me, it's come to that point. I kind of talked to him a little bit about, doing a complete transition into, I don't know, starting something new in another country, and people are attached to, I get it. Like, some people really love what they do here, their job, their car, their house, all that good stuff. But a lot of this stuff is temporarily, in most cases, right? So just having less attachment to things for me. It's like, I have all these gadgets, great. I was just like, I wish I didn't buy all this stuff. At least that's what I got from my own experience. I have the shoes. I have all this. It's just like, I wish I didn't buy the shoes. I wish I didn't buy the watch. I have it. I'll wear it. Cool. I'll use it. I'll leave it, to the point where I started. My goal for the next 2-3 years is to eventually run barefoot.
Interesting.
So I read a book called, I've spoken about this and many other people have spoken about it, Born to Run. And it's this tribe in Chihuahua that don't have resources. Like, they don't have resources, bro. Like, they don't even have the type of money to buy shoes. So they'll make their own shoes out of tire. So they'll hand make these shoes, no fancy cushion, whatever. And they'll have no option but to go out, get groceries 5 hours away. So they're like, fuck, well, we got to get there, like a little quicker. So they would go run and stuff. And it's just what they have available, right? So it made me think about all these things. Like, bro, that would be awesome, because I'm seeing more of a movement now. Because if you do, like, you start running, I would really highly suggest like looking into barefoot walking and grounding as well. I ground a lot on grass. I do my best to walk barefoot around my house. When I'm out on the street, it's just like, all right, cool, I'll put my shoes on, whatever, But I did barefoot walking. I bought shoes for barefoot shoes for about a year and a half. We're still going very strong with it. Very, very strong. I was wearing them yesterday. Sometimes when I run too fast, too hard, I can't wear barefoot shoes because I had an ankle injury. And that kind of really, it took me a year and a half. So a year and a half ago when we were kind of talking, I had an ankle problem and I couldn't run. And that taught me a lot about like, bro, I don't have an ankle. Like imagine I was thinking about, I probably need surgery for my ankle. I rolled it. So I rolled it a year and a half ago. I was supposed to do a race and I was very bummed about not showing up to that race. So I had to get my deposit back. And it was far beyond the deposit. Like, I don't care about the money, but it's just like, I wanted to go. Like, and that all alone kind of like everything that just happened, like, oh, my surgery for my hernia. Okay, I started running. Oh, damn, you rolled your ankle. I was like, what if I just didn't have a leg? Like, I cannot use my right leg. I was having such a hard time doing anything, not having my right ankle. It's just like, I don't have a right leg, bro. Like, you could have the biggest quad, strongest cap, but you don't have an ankle, so you don't have a leg, period. It's the hardest thing. So I was just like, bro, like, what if I do need surgery? And then I started getting better. I started looking into barefoot stuff, you know, not really into like running form or anything, but it does fix a lot of problems that we face. Like, oh, back problems. Oh, I have problems here. Oh, I have hamstring problems. Like a lot of it has to do with not having good structural foundation. And that's what I tell people, start from the ground up. What do you need when you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80? Legs. You don't need your chest. You don't. Yeah, that's essential. Yes, you need your hands and stuff. But what's like the biggest thing I see at the gym now? Folks that are in their 60s, 70s can't even walk, that are going backwards now. I was like, oh, now you're really starting to move. You're starting to squat. And it sucks that they didn't get that information, or they didn't understand, or they were just lazy, right? They were lazy not to do the things that wouldn't have to put a burden on somebody else. Like, I can't walk, or I can't go from, you know, this place to that place because you didn't strengthen your foundation. So for me, strengthening my foundation was the most, it is still like, you know what? I'm the happiest guy right now having the strongest legs I could possibly build. Like, bar none. What do we use? Like, how did I get here to sit down in this couch? Well, my legs, my feet, you know, it's like if we travel, I traveled to Japan, Ireland, to China. I went to the Great Wall of China. Wow. That right there was the biggest less is more, and was the version from before till now. When I was at the Great Wall of China, I was like, no amount of money can get me to be where I'm at right here. Transportation is going to drop you off like way down there, but you gotta have to climb up all the way up here. And the Great Wall of China is thousands of miles long, so it's up to you how much you want to walk. So no amount of money can buy the strength, the discipline. Discipline is not for sale. Motivation is not for sale. Well, yeah, here and there, like marketing, right? It's like, oh, David Goggins, like blah, 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 blah. Okay, that fades away. Habits are not for sale. Strength's not for sale. You have to build it through identity, building your identity first, building that person that shows up to build those things. Because when you travel, I mean, whatever airport you're going, you're walking miles until you get to your destination. Okay, now you gotta get a taxi cab. Where's your destination? Like, who knows where? They drop you off probably like half a mile away from your hotel in some cases, right? Well, that's just the beginning. You gotta carry your luggage. You need more strength to carry your backpack, your luggage. So that was the biggest eye opener for me. It's just like, dude, like all this material stuff doesn't matter to me anymore. It's just like, I have strong legs. I could come up here to the Great Wall of China and be like, I could be here all day. That's my happiness.
I love that.
You know?
I love the way you put that, man.
Because to many people, it's the material stuff, right? It's like, oh, I want to be at this fancy hotel, blah, 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 5-star this, 5-star that. It's just like, no, bro. I was like, I want to be at the Great Wall of China and say like, hey, I was out here. Like, this thing is amazing. And it's crazy how they put it on online and I'm literally walking on it. And my limitation is my fitness. So I saw people struggling at the Great Wall of China. All kinds of people. You have tourists in a certain section. And they're looking at me. I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. This is amazing. And then people are like, how are you doing this? I'm like, oh, smack. That's right. How am I doing this? Oh, I'm just here, just cruising around, you know? It's just like, man, like, oh, I'm tired. And the steps weren't like regular steps that are architectured to perfection. Some are bigger, longer, wider, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
All those metrics. So that really put that set the tone to you're exactly where you need to be.
Yes.
This is what I'm really living for, movement, message. And I'm not stuck to, you know, I'm not tied to things. Because when I was way out there, I didn't have family. Like, I was almost by myself. I went to Japan by myself. I was with my sister in China. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to Japan. I'm literally like next door neighbor over here. So I went by myself. I cycled on the street, and it feels so like, I was like, you know what? I wish I didn't have as many things to worry about at home. And I would love to get to a point where if I want to move here, because there's many, you know, people online on YouTube like, hey, you know what? I started a new life in Japan, and I'm getting into those things now. And it's just like, bro, what if like I didn't have all these things that I'm tied to here?
And I could have that freedom.
Have the freedom to say, you know what? I enjoy this culture. I actually want to give it a shot. Just living here for a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
The only thing that will hold you back is the money. But there's a lot of other things that could potentially hold you back too, you know? So that's definitely the next goal for me, you know? Cool. So like making sure that I'm happy with my movement, with my health, and continue that journey.
And Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, again, because this is a whole fitness thing and all that. Like you're saying about being able to be at the Great Wall of China and just being happy and everyone else is tired. I'm a firm believer that a lot of us, it's not that we're tired midday or we're at, let's say, Disneyland and we're just like our feet are hurting and you're just there a couple of hours. It's that we're out of shape of just being able to do life from the time you wake up to the time that you have to go to sleep. Because when I started like taking it more serious in my fitness, I started realizing the same thing. The day that I didn't work out, and we would go out and do stuff, oh man, I'm like happy and energetic to do it all. And I had to stop and pause and I'm like, wait, why am I not yearning for a nap right now? It's 12. This is the time where I used to want to just go to sleep for a little bit. And I'm like, oh dang, I think I'm in shape to just do life right now. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people think that, oh, I'm getting older, I'm just tired now. It's like, no, I think you just need to get into fitness a little bit, get in shape, and trust me, at your age, you're still gonna want to do life from the moment you wake up to nighttime. Now, what do you think about that? Am I in ballpark?
No, I mean, if you look at All America, I'm doing a very long-term documentary. 45% to 50% of America is obese. So imagine that is almost a direct correlation to not moving and overeating. Then again, that's why I didn't want to get too far into the rabbit hole of food. A lot of the food that is now at our disposal is, you know, it's filled with all these ingredients that doesn't even need to have, right? So a lot of the things that we buy in fast food restaurants, I think that's one of the things that I forgot to mention. Like if you were to start, you know, wanting to eat healthy, just don't eat fast food, don't eat junk food. And it's so simple. Like we're all adults and we know like what's junk food. We know like, okay, junk food. I know he means soda, candy, chocolates, all the stuff that you could find at 7-Eleven. Literally 99.9% of those things. Probably the 1%, that 0.1% is the water. It's like, yeah, that's not on there. But everything else is full of sugar, high fructose corn syrup, artificial colors, blah, 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 blah. That's another thing about moving to another country. Like other countries, like Japan, it's probably like 8%. People are moving, people are cycling. Other countries, like I think Netherlands or Finland, they use their bike. It's so rare to see people use their bike. Like there, you'll see a few folks here and there, but not a whole town they're building roads specifically for bikes. And that is a big problem that, people are out of shape. And you do have to get in shape for life. Like just the daily tasks. You're right. It will bring you down if you don't have the endurance, the strength. Like it's essential. It's an essential thing. And that was one of my biggest goals. Like I want to do things that are going to be essential up till I'm 80 or 90. What is it? Building muscle. Okay, great. Okay. Building lung capacity. Got it. Building a strong heart. Boom. Done.
Amazing. That's so cool. Yeah, like you're prioritizing like the things that matter most in life. That's really, really cool. And honestly, I'm very inspired by this episode with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. This has made me restructure my values or rethink them, at least for now. I do want to definitely start to prioritize my health because, like you said, brother, that what you're describing to me, it sounds like confidence. That let's go out. Let's do this. Let's go to Costco and then let's go to the mall. Then let's go there. Let's go to the beach after. That's being confident. I feel like
you're missing one part. In and out, bro. Nice.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
I do love that you said that because I maybe like 3 months ago or 4 months ago when I like started slowly, I wouldn't be doing the podcast with you like I am right now. And it's because it's built that confidence in me of like being in front of a camera. Like for you, like your journey or the sexy thing of it, of being where you're at, is being able to just enjoy the Great Wall of China and stuff like that. For me, the sexy part of it is being more confident in doing some of the things that I've always wanted to do, which is like, and the simple things, like just being at the beach, going to a pool party, going to like those little events that the person before me where I was bigger, no way, you wouldn't see me in any of those functions. But now I'm building that confidence of like, yeah, let's go to the pool party. Yeah, let's go to the beach to hang out. Yeah, let's do a podcast and be in front of a camera. It's cool. Let's do it. Yeah, that's cool.
I love that. I love that. And I'm inspired by that. Brother, for the viewers, what are you offering? How can people reach out to you? How can people collaborate with you? What is your pitch to the world?
Right now I started working on this new project. So I was working very heavily on athletic power. And it had to do with a lot of other athletes, like people have already done boxing. Like the biggest thing was boxing, following boxers and stuff. Not necessarily the common thing, like going who versus who. It's just like, what do you do? Like, what's your routine? What do you eat? How's your workouts? Going into what most of us want to know, right? Anybody that's starting, like, oh, how do you start? Oh, start with the jab. Then start with the 1-2. And then mix in 1, 2, 3, and then just stay there for months, master that, right? And I think that's the beauty about boxing too. So I did this for a while. This
is a clothing brand?
No, it's not a clothing brand. I say it's more of a media.
Okay. It's a YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube channel.
Amazing. So it's called Athletic Power.
Yeah.
It's spelled Athletic PWR.
Yep.
Love it. Okay.
They'll put that on YouTube, and
Amazing.
Then my new project right now that I'm really focused on is Erick Ramirez TV.
Erick Ramirez TV. ERICK?
Yeah.
Ramirez RAMIREZ TV.
Yep. Correct.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's probably not popularized just yet, but it's just showing up every day, right? Simplifying everything, how to start, how to stick to it. And then same handle. Well, not necessarily same handle, but my TikTok and my Instagram is Athletic Ramirez.
Athletic Ramirez. Amazing. And, for the viewers, please subscribe to his channel. I'm already inspired by you. We've only known each other for like 2 hours. So I can only imagine after subscribing, you post a video, I get a little notification that something came up from your channel. I can listen to that. And that would be just like I'm here at 7 a.m. today doing something healthy. And now you've inspired me with some thoughts. That would be a consistent little IV, a drip of that throughout my life. But go ahead.
There you go.
It's Tuesday. I have a pool party Sunday. How do I get a 6-pack by then, Erick?
So you go to the liquor store.
You go to the liquor store?
You buy a 6-pack.
Leo took that one.
I don't drink, but it's a joke I had to make.
Done.
That's great.
You ever been for real?
No. That was great. Of course not. No. But
I was about to tell
I'll
you,
do
bro. Fast from now to then. Done. Water fast, bro. Secured. Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for having me, and this was great, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for all the viewers, listeners. You guys are growing little by little. We're getting 2 or 3 more views per video, and that means a lot to us. We enjoy these conversations regardless, but I love that we're delving in topics that benefit everybody, and we hope that you're benefiting. If there's something you want to see, if there's a comment you have about a conversation, so long as it's positive, please share whatever you want. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next video. See you on the next episode.